Okay. All right, friends. I made it. I made it online. And yeah, thanks for staying with me. Just had a little trouble getting the internet up and going here. And I just want to make sure that we can communicate. And let me see if chat's working. Okay, looks like it's working on my end. I'm doing a little bit of a sound check here also this morning, so if you can hear this okay, please let me know. I have a little bit of a new mic set up, and I just want to make sure that you can hear me okay. So please, if you can, chime in on that. So again, yeah, thanks for joining and being patient with me while I got everything straightened out back in Mahasol Yoga Studio here in downtown Littleton, and really grateful for this space to continue to live stream. And so today I wanted to just want to check my texts here. Okay, Leslie, got your text, and it may not be that you guys can chat live. So I'm just going to send a quick text to Leslie. And yeah, so anyway, the dawn of time, I felt like that was a little bit of an appropriate theme, for our first class of 2021. And okay, so we can live chat. All right. Okay, you can hear me fine. Good. All right, so thanks for letting me kind of get grounded into what we're doing here. And I don't know if I've probably, had any discourse with you over the teaching about the dawn of time, because the yogis definitely had in their philosophies a very integrated and complete and sophisticated understanding about how time, is created. And in its essence, the three gunas, which we've talked about, rajas, tamas, and sattva guna, are in this state of equilibrium in what's considered, pralaya or mula prakriti, or this, phase of the creation of the universe, where there is no form, if you will. And so the gunas are not necessarily interacting with one another. Therefore, there is no cause for creation, if you will. And that's in its in its essence, the dawn of time. But then there's this motivation, this what's called a samskara, for creation itself. And what gives rise to the movements of the gunas is the primordial sound of Om. That's kind of how the teachings describe when we move from a state of an unmanifest state to manifest, where the gunas then begin to interact. And through that interaction, a density is eventually created, going from subtle to gross, and then forms essentially emerge, if you will. And so one of the ways that I've looked at this is that time dawns is when perception moves from a permanent quality, which we understand that as spirit, to impermanent qualities. Or time dawns when we move from stillness to action, from peace to desire, or judgment, from nirodha, which means cessation, to vritti, which is action, and from the present moment to thinking about the past or the future. And those are all concepts that give rise to the movement of time, if you will. Sri Aurobindo, one of the Indian teachers that I have studied his work, said that time alters based upon the level of consciousness that we're perceiving from. And I found that to be the most interesting thing, really. And we can feel that. All of us have probably had this experience in a yoga class where we've taken a class, and then at the end we're like, wow, where did the time go? It seemed like it went so quickly, or wow, it seemed like it took so long, or different experiences. And it's because your perception was molded in a different kind of fabric reality. One might say that time is, identified through the movement of form, and then when our perception is into a formless state, then we're re-identifying with the nature of time, and it really doesn't exist. And that's the really most interesting place, is where we get into a timeless state. And one might say that that is the quality of the present moment. All these Indian teachers talk about this really fascinating concept around perception when we're in like a higher perceiving conscious field of mind. And they talk about this idea that the will to act, the action, and the result are the same movement. So the will to act, the action itself, and the result are all the same movement. And if you think about like what we're doing in our asana practice, there's a will to create a form. We're in this teaching climate and doing the things. And then, there's the action to create the form, and then there is the result of the form. And in a state of higher consciousness, that process is just one thing. It's not divided. And so as we go through our practice here this morning, I'm going to continue to encourage you, if you will, to stay very, very, very present in the experience of your practice. There's no division between will, action, and result. And if there's one of these things that you connect, from stillness to action, from peace to desire, from cessation to action, let that be also included in how we proceed, or how you proceed with your practice here in this very first, sadhana of Illuminated Insight Yoga in the year 2021. So that's all for chai and chat. Thanks, friends. And I'm going to slip back to my abode here and begin. One of the things that I was doing in preparation for our class here this morning was chanting the 108 names of Shiva, and it's something that I do on occasion. And in the 108 names of Shiva is this, and they're very short, they're just morphisms, just attributes of consciousness, is Om Kala Kalaya Namaha. And the translation of that is we bow to He who is time after time. And so we will process that a little bit here this morning. We bow to the one who is time after time. And so get comfortable in your seated position. Yeah, so just get comfortable in your seated position here. And begin to breathe into the belly. You know that diaphragmatic breath allows for the being to kind of relax a little bit and soften. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. We bow to the one who is time after time. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. 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 And then breathe a little deeper, so full yogic breath, belly, ribs, chest. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. We bow to the one who is time after time. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. 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 And then allow for the Sankalpa to appear, the intention. And then the interesting thing about spiritual time is we can stretch time into the present moment. So that version of yourself that's connected to the Sankalpa is connected to the will, action, and result. And one might say that that Sankalpa has already happened. It's already here. So that future version of yourself is already apparent. So allow for that energy to then just be revealed. We'll chant a couple of ohms to this and we'll get into our practice here. So exhale your breathing completely and then take a nice big inhale. And then one more time, a nice big inhale. Okay, thank you, friends. So we'll stay in the seated position for just a little while longer here. I'm going to slip out of from the seated support, if you'd like. And then just interlace the fingers, extend the palms of the hands out here. And then just gently inhale, float the hands and arms up. So a little length of the front body. And so we invite, again, this strong sense of presence here, cessation, peace. Big inhale. And exhale, float the hands and arms down, grounding the low back, rocking back on the sacrum here. And then gently inhale, float hands and arms back up. And exhale, float down. And so within the experience of, and just find your own pacing here, movement and breathing, creation of forms and the dissolving of forms, let some part of your perception stay kind of sustained in balance of the gunas, in the present moment, if you will, in a thoughtless state, or in a peaceful state, to add a few different capacities for that. And then gently release the hands and arms shoulder height. Let the right palm turn up, the left palm turn down. Then we'll just stir the upper arms and the shoulder joint here. So a little bit of movement that way. Kind of feel into that. And then we'll just swim the arms a little bit. So just find a kind of a more fluid motion of movement. So the joint capsules and things become free. Wrists, shoulders, elbows, even the head and neck can move a little bit. Yeah. And then soften here, and then inhale, float hands and arms a little higher, eagle arms. So the right arm goes under the left, the forearms, palms come together, the elbows draw out and up, shoulder blades can slip down the back slightly and give the head a little bit of a stir here. And then just be very conscious of how like action and movement is initiated in kind of the fabric of space that it moves through. Yeah, neutral head here, big inhale. And exhale, round the body and just rock back on sacrum here. And then inhale, sweep hands and arms open real wide, like you're hugging a beach ball. And then we switch this out, so left arm under the right again. Forearms and palms come together. Guru Dasana, we know this as this ego form with the arms, elbows out and up. And again, give the head a little bit of a stir. You may feel a little different side to side, that's normal. Yeah. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, rounding once again into the lower back. Oh, yay. And then inhale, sweep open, hands and arms really wide. This time let's release them behind us and interlace the fingers here. So a little opening of the top chest and just breathe here. Yeah, and in these pauses, if you will, in our asana practice, again, allow that to just be really spacious and present, if you will. And gently release the grip of the hands here. Extend the right hand out, the fingertips balance on the mat, and then inhale, the left arm up. And exhale over the head and just reach, reach, reach. Just kind of spin the heart open here. Just lengthening through the side body. Breathe in deep. And then inhale, float hand and arm up. And exhale, gently release the hand and arm down. Plant fingertips, palm turns up, inhale, float arm up. And exhale it over the head. It's this long side body, a little bit of movement to kind of ground out right knee. Again, heart spins open, gaze up. Oh, yay. And then inhale, float hand and arm up. Exhale, gently release it down. And then we'll come into a twist here. So inhale, sweep hands and arms really high. Spiral to the right. And then release the left hand down on the outside of that right knee. And then that right arm behind you. Reassert length in the spine. You can kind of track that right shoulder back. A little contraction of the right obliques even. Inhaling into the belly and allow that kind of pressure to come into the back of the left side of the body. And a nice big inhale here. And exhale, soften to a neutral position. And then we'll just simply move to the other side. So inhale, sweep hands and arms up. Twisting now to the left. And then releasing things down. Reassert length in the spine here. Breathe very deeply. Stay with deep yogic breathing. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, soften to a neutral position. So now we'll come off of our seated position. Let the knees lift here and then make our way to tabletop. So we'll come to all fours here. And then just a little bit of a circling of the hips so that just kind of free up the body here a little bit more. So as you inhale, let the heart float forward and exhale, the hips drop back. Just going to continue that motion, that movement. And then gently a little switch of the direction when you're ready. So. Oh, yay. Yeah, in a neutral position here. And we'll just come into puppy pose. So inhale your breath and exhale, just sink the heart here, forehead towards the earth or to the earth. And just breathing. And kind of ground the hands a little bit firm and a little traction in the shoulder blades. Actually, you can feel really decent on the back of the body. And then gently inhale, round up into tabletop again, and then just a little bit of motion here and movement. Let the hips release down, the gaze goes up. That can consume an inhale there. And exhale, lift the hips back, and we'll kind of pivot all the way back into an extended child's pose position now this time. And then again, inhale, rounding into the upper back. The belly can draw to the spine, and hips gently release towards the earth. A big, big inhale. And then exhale, lift the hips. We'll do this just a couple more times. Find your own rhythm, your own pacing. Where will, action, and result are all the same experience. Yeah. So there's no linear natures to consciousness. It's kind of consumptive in its capacity to perceive. And we're back into neutral position, and we'll meet in downward facing dog here. So just gently let the hips ascend. Downward facing dog. Yeah, take a moment, breathe deeply, add any kind of movement that feels good for your body here. And just take a moment. Yeah. And then lift the heels here, come up onto the tippy toes. And then sink the heart. And then gently release the heels back down towards the earth. Feel into that. And then bending the right knee. Grounding the right hand and stretching the left calf and Achilles. And feel your way into that. And then straighten and switch. And then move between the two a little bit. That's good. Yeah. And then just sustain the form, breathe deeply. Allow for, again, this witness perception to emerge. Let that be the prominence of what we attach our experience to. And then gently walk the feet to the hands, so we'll meet in the forward fold. Yeah. Just breathe deeply. Let the head maybe turn yes and no, and grabbing opposite elbows, a little traction for the spine. And then again, just always allowing for the sense of quietude, the sense of presence to be a feature of your experience. And then half lift here, so hands mid-shins, lengthen from tail to crown. Breathe very deeply, yeah, and then take a nice big inhale. Then exhale, lengthen out as you pull down. Chin tucks, hands release at the bottom. And again, inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding. And then we'll do one more of these, inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. And then send the left leg back into a lunge. Pause here for a moment. Stay with the breath. And then we'll move with our breathing here. So back leg is firm, kind of lengthen. Again, tail to crown. And then with an inhale, straight the front leg, draw the forward towards the shin. Then exhale, bend the front leg knee. And then again, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then one more here, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then step this right foot over, one little step to the right, and then open the foot to the right. And then come onto the right hand on the inside of the foot. We're going to work with the hips a little bit. Take a nice big inhale, and exhale, bend the elbows and just sink into the right hip. And then inhale, straighten. And then exhale, bend. There, yeah. And again, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then we'll just hang out down here. You may want to come onto the forearms if it's a little accessible for that hip. You can always release this left knee to the earth if you like. A little more stability that way. And just stay with the breath. Breathe into this right hip. Open nicely. And then we'll come up halfway, ground the left hand, moving into a twist, float the right hand to the sky. And just twist open here. Breathe very deeply though. And then just gently draw the right hand to the sacrum with the palm down and just open up into the heart space here. And nice and a big inhale. And exhale, gently release the hand. Plant, step back into high plank, high push up here. Oh yeah. Breathe in, stay with the breath. Present moment perception. And then a nice big inhale here. Exhale to the knees all the way to the belly. And then Bhujangasana pose to the tops of feet and the pelvis grounds. The shoulders move away from the ears and in float the torso. Kind of a baby cobra. Looking at the earth. The hands can kind of firm up and isometrically move towards the waist. That'll wrap the elbows into the side bodies. A little more kind of movement, heart. Big inhale. And exhale, float torso, forehead down. And again, inhale, float on up. And exhale, float down. And then one more of these. Inhale, float on up. And exhale, tuck the back toes under, lift the hips, down dog. Breathe deeply, nourish the body with your breathing. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah. And little gentle bend of the knees and step the left foot to the left hand. So back into this extended Anjaneyasana. Back leg is firm here. Shoulders move away from there, so there's a spinal extension. And then with an inhale, straighten the front leg, draw the forward towards the shin. And exhale, bend the front leg knee. And again, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then last time, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then step this left foot open. One little step, and then kind of turn the toes open. Left hand on the inside of this left foot. Inhale, breathing. And exhale, bend elbows sink into the hip. And then inhale, straighten arms. And exhale, bend. And again, inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. And then we'll just hang out down here, coming onto the forearms here. Stay with the breath. We're going to kind of get into this a little bit. We'll see how this goes. And then gently inhale, come on up, ground when you're ready. This right hand, and then float the left arm up. So big twist open to the left. Breathe in. Go into that. And then take the left hand to the sacrum, palm down, and just twist open a little bit more. Feel that. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release here. Step this left foot back over, so, ankle, hip, align, and then forward fold to a big step with the back foot to the top of the mat. Take a moment there, a little spacing between the feet for Uttanasana, That's it. And then Ardha, half lift, hands mid-shins, lengthen tail to crown. And then cactus the arms, inhale, flat back to standing, reach all the way up. And just take the hands and arms over the head, put a little sway in the body. A little bit of movement. You can kind of reach, as tall as you can. And a big inhale. And exhale, float hands and arms now down by your sides and then behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, look up, lengthen front spine. And exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward, put a little bend the knees. And then we just forward fold. That's it. Oh, yeah. And then gently release the grip of the hands here. And then we'll bend the knees, send now the right leg back into the lunge, like so. And then inhale, float torso. And then we're here. We'll just reach. Okay. So back heel is lifting. Quad active, back leg. Going into that. And then with an inhale, bend the elbows. So we'll cactus the arms here, let the heart just flourish. Just present moment. Again, just perceiving, just moment to moment experience. Inhale, breath. Elbows open and exhale, pulse forearms towards one another. And then again, inhale, open. Exhale, pulse. And then last time, inhale, open. Exhale, pulse. And then inhale, reach hands and arms to the sky. And then sweep them behind you and just kind of lean forward. Sink a little deeper into this front leg. A nice big inhale, and exhale, gently release the hands down. And we plant and step back into high plank. So push up once again. And just breathe deeply, nourishing the body. Oh, yeah. And then a nice big inhale, exhale to the knees. Once again to the belly. And then a little different this time, Salabhasana. We know this is locust pose. Work the hands down by the sides, your palms down. Then exhale your breath completely. Then inhale, first just float the torso. So the torso floats up. Breathe deeply here. You can kind of squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. Stay with the breath. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release down. And then look to the right. So the left ear is on the mat. Just relax. And gently draw the gaze forward here. Exhale the breathing. And then inhale, float the torso. And float the legs. And just squeeze the back of the body. Stay with the breath. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release down. And look to the left. Relaxing. Nice. And then gently gaze to neutral here. And then again, Salabhasana. Float torso, float legs. Just squeeze the back of the body. And then cactus the arms. Breathing. And then open the arms wide to the side. Stay with your breath. And then interlace the hands behind you. Breathe. Lift a little higher. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release down. Hands plant under the armpits. Inhale, float up to tabletop. Exhale, drift back into child's pose. Very slowly. Breathe into the belly. And again, allow your perception to pivot back to just awareness, to observation. Nice. And then gently inhale, float on up to neutral tabletop. We'll meet in down dog. So, Adho Mukha Svanasana when you're ready. Yep. And again, continue to breathe very deeply to nourish the body and staying with it. Nice, friends. Then put a little bend in the knees, and then step down the right foot to the right hand. And then inhale, float torso. Come on up again. Reach the arms to the sky. Stay with your breath. Oh yeah. And then a nice big inhale. And a long exhale. And then inhale, bend the elbows, catches the arms, heart flourishes. Stay with your breathing here. A nice big inhale. Exhale, pulse forearms towards one another. And then inhale, sweep open. And exhale, pulse. And again, one more time, inhale, sweep open. Exhale, pulse. Inhale, reach to the sky, gaze up. And exhale, sweep the arms behind you, lean forward. Yeah, breathe deeply. And then interlace the hands behind you. Stay with the breath. And then inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. And then gently exhale, back foot steps, folding forward. Yeah. Take a moment here. Breathe in. Oh yeah. And then a little bend in the knees, cactus the arms, inhale, all the way to standing flat back, reach real tall. Breathe deeply. Oh. And then exhale, hands to prayer here at the heart. Om Kala Kalaya Namaha. Om Kala Kalaya Namaha. Om Kala Kalaya Namaha. We bow to the one who is time after time. And so we'll do just one sweet full round of Surya Namaskar. Sun salutation, so gently release the hands down. Palms to be open, inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, folding forward. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, send the left foot back into the lunge. Then inhale, float upper body and arms, so reach. Then exhale, just gently float all the way out of it. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up here. 8 points bowing, so inhale, breath. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, pull forward, cobra, up dog, you choose. And then exhale, down dog. Inhale, breath. And exhale, step left foot, left hand. Inhale, float upper body, arms reach. And then exhale, back foot steps, folding forward here. Inhale, sweep to standing. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart. I'm going to throw in a twist on this other side. So inhale, sweep hands and arms up. And exhale, hinge, folding forward. Send the right leg back into the lunge. Inhale, float upper body, arms here. Stay with me. Exhale, left hand, left waist. Inhale, reach right hand forward. And then twist to the left. So fist with this right hand sinking armpit to knee. Left hand covers the right. Stay with your breathing. And then open up into it. So right hand to the earth and the left hand to the sky. Stay with the breath. And then a big inhale. And then the left arm over the head and reach here. Stay with the breath. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, hand down, look down. Step back into high plank, high push up. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, 8 points down, Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale, pull forward, cobra, up dog, you choose. Exhale, down dog. Yep. And inhale, breath. Exhale, step right foot, right hand. Inhale, float upper body, arms reach. Exhale, right hand, right waist. Inhale, reach left hand forward. And then twist to the right, so left elbow on the outside of the near thigh, sinking armpit to knee. Right hand covers the left initially. And then open up, left hand earth, right hand to the sky, breathe here. And then a big inhale, and exhale, right arm over the head. Stay with the breath. Nice big inhale. And exhale, hand down, look down. Back foot steps to the top of the mat. Take a moment here. Then inhale, sweep all the way to standing. Reach all the way up. Then hands to prayer at the heart. Just take a moment. And gently open the eyes here. And then work the weight into this right leg. Find that. And then inhale, come to balance and float the left leg up and open the left knee. And then this left palm turns up in the instep of the left foot, and the right hand turns out at the shoulder. So this left hand is your boons that you're granting the world, your good intentions. And then this right hand is the kavach, which means the shield. And then Gyan Mudra, so the pad of the index finger and the pad of the thumb come together. And then inhale, float this right arm. So this is part of what is called the Ananda Tandava. And this is Shiva's dance of bliss. This is Shiva's dance of time, if you will. And so exhale, you're breathing completely, and then inhale, switch the arms and take this left leg off the mat to the right side in kind of a curtsy position, and it looks like this. Yeah, kind of a curtsy position. The back heel is lifting, and then just sweep the arms open and really reach through the left hand. Yeah, stay with the breath. Oh, yay. And then exhale, you're breathing completely. And then inhale, switch the arms and float back up. Little wobbles are fine. Find your balance. So kind of very archetypal. And then this time we'll switch the arms, but then send this left leg straight back onto your mat. You're right on your mat now. I've obviously turned to face the camera so you can see me a little better. And then just sweep the arms open. Yeah, breathe. Stay with the breath. Oh, yay. And then exhale, you're breathing. And then inhale, ground that left foot and come into warrior two pose. So warrior two, just find your form and then make a little adjustment here. Away from the wall. And then a fist with this front hand and the thumb turns to the sky. And a fist with the back hand. And then reach this left hand in front of that right hand. Just breathe deeply into the back body. Now stay with the breath. And a big inhale. And exhale, draw the bow. So bring the left hand to the ear. Sink a little lower. And then aim the bow. So draw the arm up, up, up. Take the gaze to the thumb and straighten the front leg. And a big inhale to release the arrow. So float that left hand open. And then turn the left heel in. And we come into horse stance. Hands to prayer. And it looks like this. Just float side to side. Going into that. Breathe in. And just feel the present moment. And then straighten this right leg and just kind of bend into the left knee and just pulse here. Yeah. And then open the arms. Sink. That's it. And then inhale, float on up. Hands and arms over the head. Exhale, hands to prayer. And then bend into this right knee. Float the left toes up and just pulse here. Yep. Open the arms when you're ready. Stay with the breath. Breathe in deep. Oh, yeah. And then inhale, sweep hands and arms over the head. Star pose this time. Just lean back. Breathe deeply. Take the gaze up. Oh, yay. And a nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer at the heart. And then just pivot this right foot and the back foot. This left leg steps to the top of the mat. Take a moment here. Give the body a little bit of a shimmy, a little bit of a wiggle. Nice. And then work the weight into this left leg. And then float the right knee, like so. Open the knee. And then this right palm turns up. Left palm turns out. So again, right hand is the boons being granted into the world. This is your intentions. And this left hand is the kavach, the shield. Then Gyan Mudra, so pen the index finger, thumb. Float the left arm. Stay with the breath. Well, yeah, exhale, you're breathing completely. And then inhale, switch the arms and then float this right foot off the mat to the left side in this curtsy position. Lift the heel all the way. Sweep the arms up and back. And then just reach to this right hand a whole lot. Breathe deeply here. Nice. And then exhale the breath completely. Then inhale, switch the arms. And then float this right leg again. We're back into the form. Yeah, breathe. Oh yeah, wobbles are fine. And then exhale the breath completely. And again, inhale, switch the arms. And then float this right leg behind you straight on the mat this time. Make any adjustments. And then just sweep open again and reach again through that right hand a little more, lifting the right heel a lot. And then exhale, you're breathing completely. Then inhale, sweep this left arm up, pivot the right heel down. And once again, Cosmic Warrior 2 form we come into. Yeah. And so fist with this front hand, thumb releases to the sky. And fist with the back hand and reach past the front hand and breathe deeply here. Stay with the breath and a big inhale. And exhale, draw the bow. And sink real low. Yeah. Aim. Take the arm high, higher still. Straighten the front leg all the way. Look to the thumb. A big inhale and up. Release the arrow. Right out. And then bend the front leg knee. Pivot the right heel in. And we're just floating side to side now. Again. Stay with the breath. And I'm going to move so you can see me a little bit. A little better. That's it. Yeah, and then we'll work the weight into this right leg, like so. And then float the left knee up so it looks like this. We come into balance. And then the right arm high and the left arm behind you. Just reach in, lift the leg a little higher. And here's where it gets really fun. Draw the right arm across the body. The left hand underneath. The backs of the hands come together. And then, lift the arms again. Reach in. That's it. And then lean back. Look over this left shoulder and fall out of it. Step wide. Nice. And float side to side. Yeah, Shiva's Ananda Tandava. Sink real low. That's it. And then work the weight into this left leg. And then float the right knee. Find your balance. Wobbles are fine. And then left arm high. Right arm behind you. Breathe real deep. Oh yeah. And then draw the left arm across the body. The right underneath. Backs of the hands really kind of sink together. And then float the arms again. Breathe here. Very archetypal. And then lean back. Look over the right shoulder. And just fall out of it. Nice. And float side to side again. Oh yeah. And then sink real low into the hips. Release the hands. Let the palms face the earth. Lift the elbows. Sink the heart here. And then Skandasana. So bend into the left knee. Kind of float over to the left. Release that right foot. We come onto the toes of this left foot and just kind of sink into the hamstring. Feel that. You can bind this out if you want. It's another thing to do. Stay with the breath. And then we'll gently release. Bind if you have it. And float over to the other side. And again, come onto the toes of the right foot. Release the left foot, just sink. So this upper hamstring, groin area gets a little love. And then once again, you can bind this out if you want. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah. And then gently release here. Back into neutral position. Let's come into Paschimottanasana. So that forward, wide-legged forward fold. So just navigate the position of your feet and things. Breathe in. And then inhale, flat back. Half lift, and then catches the arms. Inhale all the way to star pose again. So the arms are wide. Just lean back into it. Breathe deeply. Open up. Let the knife edge of the hands turn to the sky. And big inhale. And exhale, hands to prayer. And then just pivot now your left foot. Step the back foot to the top of the mat. All hands down. Pausing. Okay. All right, so we're going to give this a go. So put the weight into your right leg here, and then float this left foot up and then cross it over. So there's that figure 4, hands to prayer, and then just gently sink. I'm gonna actually face the screen here, sink in. We're gonna see how far we can go in this. And then just work with your hip. Everyone's hip is a little different, so if you don't come to the ground, that's fine. If you're here, that's fine. Maybe you want to sink a little lower. Maybe the hands balance on the earth. You choose. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. Just breathe here. And then inhale, float up halfway, and then take this left elbow into the instep of the left foot. So a little twist. So this is our first position of this. Just like the promo that I did online. Then if you want, you can take this left hand, say to the earth, go into that, and then take the right hand to the sky. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah. Breathe deeply. And then gently release arms, and then float them up halfway, not quite done. Hands to the earth, and then float this left knee. Stay with the breath. Arms reach to the sky. And then hands to prayer at the heart. Oh, yeah. Give it a little wiggle, a little shimmy. Nice. And then work the weight into this left leg. Float the right knee. And then above the left knee is the right foot. Find your balance. Hands to prayer. And then sink real low. Stay with the breath. Just allow for the hip to accommodate. Oh, yeah. I love that image that I posted, and I thought, wow, we can do that pose. We sure can try. And then gently release, hands to earth, wherever that may be, or just stay hands to prayer. So get into this hip a bit. And then come up halfway, and then right elbow into the right instep, sink real low, hands to prayer first. Feeling that. And then if you want to take it deeper, this right hand to the earth, and then the left hand to the sky. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah. I'd like to take a screenshot of this. Breathe in, and a big inhale, and exhale. Gently release the hand down, back to neutral, then push the floor away to come up. Arms reach to the sky, leg out, and reach real tall. Oh yeah, and then hands to prayer. Congratulations, friends. Ooh. Back to the mat for me. And then hands down by the sides here. Just come back to your breath. And gently we'll come into a forward fold position here. Yeah, breathe in. Grab opposite elbows. And then gently release into Malasana. So toes turn open, hips release, so garland, squatting pose, hands to prayer. Breathe. And we open up, so right hand to the earth and left hand to the sky. And maybe bind this, so thumbs turn down, arms capture. And then gentle neutral position, and then arms open, again, left earth, right, stars. And then Ooh, bending elbows, finding. In a neutral position here. And then release hips to the earth here, come out of it. Just relax for a moment. Nice, friends. Yeah. And then we'll come into a twist here. So bending this right knee, draw the foot up and over the leg. And just squeeze into the chest and left elbow crease, right knee, right arm behind you, twisting to the right. Lengthen spine, so sit nice and tall, grounding the extended leg. And then maybe draw this left arm up and over, feel that. Breathe here. And then a nice big inhale. And then exhale, soften out of the twist. Counter pose, float all the way around, hands ground, and then come onto the forearms here like so. Yeah. And just breathe into the belly. Breathe into the belly. Oh yeah. And then gently walk the hands back towards the pelvis. To come out of it, extend this right leg, we'll switch. So left knee draws in, float up and over here. Sit nice and tall, feeling into that. Elbow crease to knee, sweep the left arm behind you, twisting to the left. So inhale for length here. Breathe in, maybe float this right arm up and over the left leg for a little deeper rendition of the twist. Just breathing deeply. A nice big inhale. And then exhale, release the twist. So counter pose, we float all the way around. Hands ground, elbows, forearms. Breathe in. Stay with the breath. Yeah. And then gently inhale. Track the hands back towards the pelvis here. Extend this right leg. And we'll float upper body, arms. Paschimottanasana, exhale, hinge, folding forward. Hands reach forward. Torso, we'll just release all the way down. Sometimes we process this a little differently, but today we'll just kind of sink all the way in there. Breathe in. Yeah, welcome to 2021. Cosmic Dancer. No time. Inhale, track the hands up to the legs here. Neutral position. I'm going to spin around and we'll meet on our backs. So just gently using the core, just float all the way onto your backs here. Full body stretch. So reach the arms over the head. There's a lot of length here. Maybe flex and point the feet. And then hug the knees into the chest. Little rock side and side here. Feel good about the massive twisting that we've explored. And then Viparitakrami Mudra. You know this is reverse posture seal. So when you're ready, just float the feet, float the legs, shimmy up onto the shoulder girdle by externally rotating your upper arm bones, the hands to the hips. Some of you may be on a block for this position, and that's a good choice. Here, just take a moment, breathe in deeply. Take a quick peek here at our screen. Okay. I wasn't able to see any of your communication on my end, so I was just kind of checking the chat thing, and it doesn't seem like it's working. That's all right. You can always send me a text or a message or Instagram message just to connect. I love hearing from you, and then just gently release all the way out of it. So hands from the hips, hands down, hips gently release to the earth here. And then rock side to side. Then our pre-Shavasana breath retention practice. So extend the legs out, the feet will open, palms turn up. Those specific cues in 2021. So exhale your breathing completely. And then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath and just wait on it. And very gently exhale the breath. So this next one, we always pooch out the belly. And after we do that for a little bit, I'll cue you to then draw the belly to the spine before you exhale. So a little extra step in there. So exhale your breathing completely. And then take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath in, wait on it. Pooch out the belly. Draw the belly to the spine. Gently exhale your breathing. And then exhale to the very bottom of the breath, the bottom of the capacity. Breathe into the belly now. And then we'll just ride this right into Shavasana, right into corpse pose. So again, just get comfortable. If you want to add anything, clothing or blanket or anything that way, please do so. Just inviting, again, a sense of first Chagyota Yao. You understand that to be the dissolving. That gives rise to the perception of awareness to the present moment. So the body is encouraged to just entirely melt. one may perceive that you are the expanding universe. One perception may be as if you're just traveling through outer space. The feeling that surrounds one may be just completely a sense of weightlessness and emptiness. And expanding and expanding. You may even see yourself traveling through galactic distance. And any concept of time breaks down here entirely. And eventually, that expansion feels as if one is full or whole. And then you come to perceive that you are the universe. You know, that sense of wholeness. And there's just peace. in the primordial beginning, there was sheer equanimity. And the cause of creation was in a perfected balance. And these subtle energies began to move when the primordial vibration of Om emerged from somewhere in the vast. Kala Kalaya Namaha. Om Kala Kalaya Namaha. Om Kala Kalaya Kala Kalaya Kala Kalaya Namaha. Time after time. So let the breath deepen here. Slowly add a little bit of movement to the Prithvi Sharira, the earth body. Maybe the head floats side to side a little bit. Ankles and wrists stir some. And stretching the arms. We'll end up on our left side here. Just relaxing there. And then gently make your way to seated position. So if any of you are newer on this stream, we'll continue to practice for about another 15 to 20 minutes. Because of our little delay in getting started, we won't have as much time for our pranayama practice. But so we'll continue our sadhana, and we will do just a little bit of a deep breathing practice. And it would seem appropriate to work with the simple but really wonderful practice of full yogic breathing with kumbhak. And kumbhak is translated as breath suspension. It's a little bit different than, say, breath holding. The kumbhak, an example would be we go to, say, the top of the inhale, and when we feel like we've, fully assimilated the breath, we keep sipping the last little fragments of air into the lungs. And that's the kumbhak, that's the suspension. So we're not holding, we're still integrating, we're still assimilating breath. And then in that space, there's a sense of quietude and stillness that we try and connect our mind to, connect our experience to. And then we gently exhale out all the breath, go to the very bottom of the breath. This is where it gets maybe a little more challenging to the nervous system, is that we keep continuing to exhale the last remnants of breath in the lungs. And that's the kumbhak. Sometimes the nervous system is saying, breathe, and we don't want to get to this place where we overreact, but we also want to leave a little bit of time, because that tension that appears at the bottom of the exhale in the sense of the kumbhak is a very powerful energy to become used to. And so full yogic breathing with kumbhak, and just find your own um, pacing here. One can kind of perceive the different stratas of experience here. And it's kind of this wonderful opportunity to contemplate this idea of the will to act, the action and its result as being one movement. This is one experience. It goes into our understanding of krama, and that means succession. This summer on the stream at Shivalaya, we went through this extensive process of karmic understanding. And we came to this recognition that the effect exists in every cause. And the effect is actually a cause for a future effect. So the tree exists in the seed, and the stream of that perpetual unfolding is always in the present moment. So will, action, and result are always known. It's just that our perception is fragmented by its attachment to nature. Let us always be guided to spirit. And attachment to the present moment. And now begin to cut the length of breath in half. And so the technique is to inhale half of the breath, include the kumbhak, then exhale to the very, very bottom of the exhale and kumbhak. Just stay committed to the practice. And then just gently let your breathing subside entirely, whatever may be normalized for you. The invitation here is to sustain your sense of present moment perception. Awareness is allowed to be very comprehensive here, very wide. If there is a sense of stillness or peace, allow that witness perception in you to be this independent observer of that quality, of that attribute. Staying present here. Om Ritam Chasakyam Chabhita Tapaso Adyajayata Tatora Trayajayata Atapa Samudra Panavaha Om Samudra Dhanavadaki Samvatara Vajayata Ahoratrani Vidadadishvasha Vishato Vashi Om Surya Chandra Musodata Yataha Purvamatalapai Divancha Prithivim Chantariksham Tato Swaha. In the beginning, the universe was created out of the energy of pure will, and this was called peace. When the movement started, vibration and sound, when time was conceived with all of its divisions, the year, the month, the week and the day, and so on. And then the four quarters were illuminated with all of their cosmic powers. And then the stars and the planets were all created by the Great Spirit. This will happen again in the future as it has happened in the past. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. Om Kalakalaya Namaha. We bow to the one who is time after time. Just bring hands to prayer here. Take a moment to reflect. And thank you for joining me in this krama, in this stream in time of the unfolding universe. And so fortunate to meet together and join on this path and share these practices and this great wisdom. In great gratitude. Namaste. Well, friends, thank you so much for joining on the stream today and being patient with me as we got the things started here. And I don't think I can't see any comments, and so please send me a text or a message, or a thing on Instagram, anything. That way, just a little shout out, that'd be appreciated. And certainly remember the Venmo stuff. Great gratitude for that. And absolutely, some point in your day today, just allow for this present moment to just reappear, and maybe in something that's becoming fast for you. That's kind of what happens, is things can accelerate on us. And so let, the present moment reemerge, and reflecting on times past and times forward, and the vitality of a new year, the calendar, if you will, and that kind of thing. But love all of you, and let's continue to carry on. Namaste, and love, peace, everyone. Love, peace. Take care. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.